overcome with grief that he sat down, unable to go on. His audience was so touched that at the conclusion of the meeting, the 14 offenders stepped forward to admit their guilt, but they could not undo the damage already done. A strict code of conduct and numerous onerous regulations were instituted at the college. The old man's dream and experiment had failed. Why? Because he took for granted the one essential ingredient for success: integrity. Only people with integrity can secure and maintain their freedom. A short time later, on the 4th of July, the old man passed away. Engraved on his tombstone were the simple words that reflected the success and failure of the most important of his experiments. Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of Independence and father of the University of Virginia. History is not a culmination of events. It is the sum total of human experiences. No event, including September 11th, makes a leader. Those people who stepped up to the occasion had already forged the qualities of leadership. Those people who were heroes had the values and qualities of heroism already as part of their character. True leaders have the ability to make hard decisions and not worry about popularity. And true heroes are people who respond to what has to be done. All of the years that I taught history, my desire was to teach it through people. People who shaped the events. If we did that, I reasoned, it would be possible to understand the constants of human experience. These constants are values that we have shared since the beginning of human history. Changes in our lives must reflect the changing cultures, not changing values. Every golden sunset brings new opportunities for those who retain faith in themselves and keep their chins up. No one has ever seen a cock crow with its head down. Courage to start, willingness to keep everlastingly at it, are the requisites for success. Meet the sunrise with confidence. Fill every golden minute with right thinking and worthwhile endeavor. Do this, and there will be joy for you in each golden sunset. The important messages are simple, but most of us don't even start figuring that out until we're past 40. Pain and time are great teachers. We want to share the information with you because we're hoping you will avoid some of our mistakes. If you take better care of yourselves, then you'll end up taking better care of us. There is more to life than increasing its speed. Sometimes you will move so fast after quantity that you may forget about quality. If at first you don't succeed, you're running about average. Don't set up so many expectations for yourselves that you declare yourself a failure before you even begin. Your growth and wisdom can be directly gauged through the drop in your ill temper. There are a lot of grouches out there who are impatient, critical, and pessimistic. Wisdom is much more likely to be connected to optimism and an even temper. Like yourself now. That will put you 10 years ahead of your friends. There are few things, very few things, that are truly important. Remember, you decide what's truly important. By your values, you make choices. No one else does. You are always going to be learning. You are always going to make mistakes. Never accept a pencil from someone if it doesn't have an eraser on the end of it. Someone asked me once, not too long ago, what I was going to be when I grew up, and I replied, dead. You're always going to be continuing your journey. Don't ever think that there is a place that you're going to stop. Crisis always seems to precede perceptual transformation. It's as if we need to be bumped into an ability to see clearly. The choices seem obvious, but you must make the commitment. Connection, not elitism. Empowerment, not power over others. Community, not isolation. Participation, not observation. Self-discipline, not mellow. Intuition as well as logic. Humor, not hopelessness, grace, not control, optimism, not pessimism, meaning as well as comfort, spirit, not emptiness. Open the window of the future that is within you. Peek out, stretch, lean toward it, and prepare yourselves to tumble through. Bradenton Academy is saying farewell to you as students today. We are sending you on with all the tools you need to fine-tune your lives. How you choose to use them is something only you can determine. We trust you and eagerly await for your contributions. Doc and I, and all of the faculty, and all of your friends and family wish you Godspeed. Keep the erasers handy, dare to look at the possibilities, maintain your ideas with integrity, remember your values. We love you, and we were always only an email or a phone call away. Thank you.
We're now going to hear from our future, from a representative of the class of 2005. Joshua was chosen to speak on the behalf of the class of 2005 because he has the highest GPA in the junior class. We could spend all day listening to his accomplishments, but a few of them include being a member of the National Honor Society, awarded the Hobie Award and attended the Leadership Conference, a member of the mock trial team, an award winner in Manatee County History Fair as well as Science Fair, and the Yale Book Award winner this year. And now we'll hear some words from our class of 2005, Joshua Small.
Someone once said, a good leader inspires others with confidence in him. A great leader inspires them with confidence in themselves. No matter what we end up doing in our lives, we will need leadership qualities if we want to succeed. The time to imprint and foster these qualities is when we're young. Every one of us has the opportunity to be a leader somewhere, sometime in our lives. Leadership means standing up for one's principles and morals to better the lives of those who follow. A leader is not swayed by prejudice or corruption, but is steered on a path to compassion and perseverance. A leadership will stand when no one has the courage to accept responsibility. No more must we sit back and wait for someone to change things and make Bradenton Academy better. We, the class of 2005, each have a role to play. By learning to use every day and every experience as an opportunity to change, we can all be individuals and leaders equally. The most important leadership quality is the power of being ourselves. If you can't be comfortable in your own skin, don't bother with anyone else's. No college acceptance letter, athletic opportunity, or big paying job can give you the key to success you really need, which is yourself. In a world where acceptance is desired more than individualism, we stand the risk of losing ourselves and our values. Allowing this causes a world of possibilities to crumble. Someone once stated that there's one thing we can do better than anyone else. We can be ourselves. True leadership is assumed, not granted. The one common thread to great leadership is people. A student body demands leaders with a vision. These leaders must be passionately committed to Bradenton Academy and its students, or they will not draw much spirit and commitment from others. People will remember leaders by the example they set. Each one of us is unique, special, and capable of making a difference in our own way. We must strive to set a good example, one that conveys hope, courage, and faith. A leader is a person who has destination. He has a plan, a roadmap. He has seen tomorrow and knows how to get there. A leader knows that not all the stoplights have to be green before he can continue on the road toward greater goals. As we approach 2005, the one great thing that is absolutely clear is that change is inevitable, and consequently that it is important that we manage change well. We will certainly have a lot of opportunities to do that at Bradenton Academy. Thank you.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce our valedictorian, Anthony Grupo. Anthony's list of accomplishments is lengthy. He was the freshman class speaker, won the English, History, Spanish, and Math awards in his 9th grade. He was indicted in the National Honor Society in his junior year, won 2nd place in the Senior Medicine and Health Division of the Science Fair. He took first in the Manatee Regional Science Fair in his junior year, as well as Best in the Show. He was the Junior Leadership Speaker also in his junior year. He also won Best in Show U.S. Army Award. After suffering a shoulder injury, he turned his energies from a possible career in tennis to scientific research, obtaining a grant to fund his studies. He placed 3rd in the State Science Fair with his independent research project. He was our senior class president this past year, has been an inspiration for all of us, always willing to tutor any student requiring assistance. Penn State will truly be lucky to have him. Anthony Grupo.
Graduation is always a joyous milestone, not only for my fellow graduates and me, but for our families and friends, our teachers, and all who have nurtured and mentored us. In the weeks and months that built to this rite of passage, many of us sat and reflected on the past 4 years and contemplated what the next era in our lives will bring. Gradually, our thoughts shifted to the world and society. It appears that high school is the time for idealism, when we are inclined to echo John Keats' romantic belief that beauty is truth, truth beauty. However, over time, our youthful romanticism will fade, and we will accept what is real and concrete. The war on terrorism, the war in Iraq, the memories of September 11th, and the observation of Columbine's 5th anniversary forced my generation to reject our romanticism earlier than previous generations. Thus, when I reflect on the past and contemplate the future, I realize that the past and the future is contained in the present. Moreover, I came to the epiphany that each generation is concerned with anxiety and ethical controversy. Similarly, it is necessary to advocate the notion that ethical controversy, at least a certain type of anxiety, may be a very good thing. The particular uneasiness pertains to the nature of the moral responsibilities that accompany our rapidly expanding knowledge of the natural world, our developing moral sensibilities, and our ever larger accumulation of technology and resources. The anxiety I speak about is not the everyday anxiety of exams, like Dr. McLean's calculus finals, or the deadlines for endless financial aid forms. These types of anxieties are real enough, but not the focus of my concerns tonight. The moral anxiety I speak about concerns a deeper matter, namely how we can build a better tomorrow by constructing social and cultural institutions that more fully reflect the new century's interests. Such moral anxiety and ethical controversy are essential to the development of our society. On our personal journeys, we should welcome these aspects because they allow us to imagine a better future and live a more thoughtful life. Every individual is invested with a degree of moral autonomy, but also moral responsibility. Perhaps the moral authority and responsibility that now rests on the shoulders of each person best defines modern life. We have all become Atlas who must hold the weight of our moral values on our own shoulders. In addition, we have to confront personal crises that concern our views of happiness and our role in society. We can find commitment and contentment from many sources, but we must be aware that many lead to moral bankruptcy and feigned happiness. Likewise, we can choose isolation or participation in the community and society. We can accept that increasing technology to disconnect us from personal relationships, or use it to connect ourselves to a global community. We can judge ourselves on the contents of our wallet and wardrobe, or the contents of our character. We can define ourselves based on the jobs we do and the salary it earns, or we can define ourselves on the job and how it contributes to humanity. We are all about to become Branch Academy alumni, and we will leave here to follow our career paths, to lead communities around the globe, and raise families. I hope that we gain knowledge from our experiences and prepared ourselves to eagerly confront, consider, and debate the momentous questions and decisions that accompany the flood of new knowledge. These issues will ultimately determine the future of my generation and many generations to follow. Joseph Henry, a 19th century scientist, said, "How short the space of an earthly career, and yet what a universe of wonders is presented to us in our rapid flight through this space." It is our task to chart an ethical course that encompasses the rich human diversity of our class and the complex reality of the global society we are part of. Thank you.
After listening to these young people speak, I think I'd like to keep them around for a little while. It's amazing, and I want to tell you why it's amazing. It's amazing because they have developed, as we have said, from little tykes, some of them. But I want right now to recognize the group of people here that have made this amazing job happen. Our faculty, would you please stand, please? Before we conclude, we have one more special presentation. It is the custom for any student that has received an appointment into a naval or Army or any ROTC program or any service academy to be presented that appointment at graduation. We ran into a little problem though because the captain of the brigade at USF was out doing something else today with the brigade. We couldn't fit the whole brigade in here, so we had to come to some kind of an understanding of what we were going to do to present David his appointment. And the captain said, well, I don't understand why you have such a problem. David has a cousin who's finishing his plebe year at the Naval Academy. Just fly him home and let him do it. So that's what we've done. Eli Edelkind will now present, Midshipman Eli Edelkind will present to David Small his NROTC appointment. David?
I had to call off the Blue Angels because it's not exactly a good environment, so they sent me. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the class of 2004. Old graduates are pretty proud of you guys. As a class, your accomplishments are numerous and your future is limitless. You're all embarking upon adulthood. You'll be starting the course to your future careers and finding your places in society and in our world. Our family has a strong tradition in service, and I'm very proud that my cousin David Small has chosen the U.S. Navy as his medium to serve his country and to serve people. Having been appointed a midshipman in the United States Navy, David Small will swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. He will swear to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. He will take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. He will swear to well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which he is about to enter, so help him God. Joining the Naval Reserve Officer Training Course is a true honor. You heard the word integrity mentioned tonight, and the word integrity first came about as integras, which root means armor. And joining the Naval Reserve Officer Training Corps, he'll be developing his armor, mentally, morally, and physically. Officers and midshipmen wear shoulder boards, like the ones you see on my shoulders, to represent the burdens they bear. For midshipmen, the burden is to become ready to defend the ideals of the Constitution, become ready to defend the people of this great country, and to become ready to lead some of the nation's finest young men and women in service of their country. He will go through a tough training regimen. He will take classes in college such as naval science, and during the summers he will train with our active Navy and observe as much knowledge as possible dealing with the profession of arms. He will build himself up, like I said, morally, mentally, and physically. This country it demands the best out of its armed services. It's a great burden to shoulder, but it's not looked upon those that shoulder it as a burden. It is carried as an honor and a privilege. Lord Moran, in his book, The Anatomy of Courage, wrote, "A man of character in peace becomes a man of courage in war. The NROTC will work in a peaceful environment to prepare David for an uncertain world. David Small is a great man with a big heart. He will contribute greatly to the NROTC program and to the Navy. This nation needs idealists who believe strongly in the foundation for which it was founded. I'm proud of David for answering this call. I'd like to give David a plaque on behalf of the NROTC. In honor of it, it has a copy of the letter of acceptance into the Naval Reserve Officer Training Program with the words honor, courage, and commitment, which are a mainstay for our U.S. Navy. And I'd also like to present him with a copy of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, which I carried through my first year at the Academy, and a flag that I carried with me too, my first year. I'd like to finish this with a charge from General Robert E. Lee that he sent to his son. Duty then is the sublimest word in our language. Do your duty in all things. You cannot do more, you should never wish to do less.
I knew we'd face this moment. I
please join me in rising. And now move your tassels from the right to the left. Move it off. So I guess I shouldn't graduate now. I can't move a tassel.